Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic here on Ragplays. It is time for us to leave the place where the last Sith Empire died, here on Yavin, and embark for where the Sith species was born, Korriban, a volcanic mountain range. Its native species, none known, now settled. It's interesting that the Navid computer doesn't actually know that the Sith race was born on Korriban. But I guess maybe we're running a very old program. No telling when the Ebon Hawk was first created, but it might have been between the sometime between the Great Hyperspace War and the Great Sith War. This ship might be quite old. No telling how long Davik had it, perhaps when he was in his youth, and if that were the case, then, well, he might have been around for the war with Exar Kun that took place 40 years before this game. In which case, you know, the Republic had largely forgotten, I suppose, with the exception of maybe the Jedi Order of the history of Korriban. And we'll be docking at the Dreshday settlement, so let's depart.
You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Revan Malak. There are some who believe Korriban is the birthplace of the Sith. This planet is an evil place. There are secrets here best left uncovered.
Well, we have to uncover those secrets if we want to stop Malak.
You were right, of course. We cannot turn away from the path we've started on, no matter where it may lead. During the vision, I felt cold and trapped. Almost as if I was buried alive. It felt like we were in some kind of tomb. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
What if the Sith recognize you, given who you are and all?
Maybe you're right. Most of the Dark Jedi would only know me by name, but there are a few among them who might recognize my face.
I see the risk, but I want you at my side, especially here. The dark side surrounds everything. Can you feel it?
Yes, of course, you're right. I have to remember my training. The Masters know well the corrupting influence of the dark side, although it is hard for me to imagine.
Odd camera angle, but okay. Well, welcome to Korriban, everyone. Got a fairly mundane sort of view out the cockpit here. I think we're facing a wall, but hey. We've arrived without issue. There's a few things we need to do before we leave the ship, and one of those would be talking to all the crew members about...
How can I help?
Well, the planet that we're on, I suppose. I'm confused as to why this is still showing up, number one here. We already had a talk with Bastila. I guess you can just do that any number of times. That's okay. It doesn't look like she has any information on Korriban.
We can speak
so...
again later, after you've had time to think about all this.
Yeah. What about Karth?
What do you need?
He is probably just going to be upset about his son still, so...
You got it.
He's hyper-focused. We're not going to get any information out of him. Well, that just leaves most of the crew. Let's get our music back, give us a little atmosphere. All these Gizka! So many of them. Zalbar is not going to have anything to say. Neither will T3. What about Johnny?
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
Well, I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Nothing for now, perhaps later.
Of course. If there is anything else, I am here to help.
Juhani fans, fear not. We will be using Juhani a bit on Korriban, at least once we get out onto the planet's surface. Be a little while from now, but I almost went and talked to her again, like a friggin' goldfish. I forgot the castle was there for a second. Who do we have left? Jolee might have something to say about everything, so let's go ahead and talk to him.
Got something on your mind, dude?
He does. He has dialogue. So why did you decide to come with me anyway?
You got yourself a fast little ship. I'd forgotten what engine sounded like. The closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an Uller in mating season. Oh, frightful.
So you wanted a ride on my ship?
Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of the synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing?
Well, I was meaning to get around to it. But, seriously, tell me.
I'm old, damn it. I'm allowed to be enigmatic when I want to be. And don't you go telling me otherwise. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. Breath like a bantha.
Gee, thanks. Did you annoy this person endlessly too?
Oh, very funny. Is it my fault that some people are so easily annoyed? Like impatient little children. With blasters. Anyway, where
I have
was
a lightsaber, thank
Oh,
you very
yes.
much.
Andor Vex was his name. The Force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was.
I've never heard of him.
No, you wouldn't have. Sometimes swirling force is just swirling force. It gets us old Jedis excited at our age, so we go, ooh, destiny. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall.
I see. Is there supposed to be some hidden meaning in all this?
I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring.
How young are we talking?
Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians.
Can't say I
but
have.
At the time, they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand.
Andor killed Krat, I take it.
Of course he did. Haven't you been listening? It was not in the way you'd probably expect, though. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed too, or this could have just been gurgling noises. No, well, anyway. Finally, Krat has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Everyone panics, and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that was really something. How can you even be sure Andor was responsible?
What? Are you kidding? What are the odds of that happening anyway? 1,000,000,000 to 1?
Never tell me
You
the
should do
odds.
so well as to be sucked into the engine of some evil Sith Lord, you know. Andor was a hero. Sort of. Anyway, go on. My throat is dry and you're making me cranky. Shoo!
Well, I'm not going anywhere just yet. Jolee. You and Jolee have talked a little about his past. You may continue the conversation with him in the future. Perhaps once you have gained some more experience. Very subtle game. Very, very subtle. Make sure we are actually still recording. It seems so. See if he has anything
Got
else to
something on
say.
your mind, dude?
Do you know anything about this place, Jolee?
Korriban's a rock. Mind the Sith.
I
And
will
that's
mind
about
the
all
Sith.
I got to say about that. Now, let's get going.
Yes, I agree. Never mind.
Oh, I get it. Let's play with the old man's head, is it? He's half senile. He'll forget I said anything.
I never get tired of this.
Well, what was this about anyway?
Oh, jeez. Very good, very good. I think we're going to make a stop by Canderous now.
Yeah, what do you want?
Does not have any more war stories for us, but do you know anything about Korriban, Canderous?
Korriban is a Sith world, that's for sure. I mean, just look at this place. Rumor has it that the leader of our clan at the time, Mandalore, did go down. They say the Sith performed terrible magics here. You have anything else you want to ask?
That's foreboding. Nothing more for now, thanks.
Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Very well. Lastly, we're gonna go talk to Mission.
Hey there, what can I do for you?
And we will ask her about the planet we're on, because I think her brother's tied up anyway, for now.
I don't know anything about Korriban, but I get a bad feeling in this place. If there's such a thing as an evil planet, this is it. Sorry I can't be more help, you know. Is there anything else I can do for you?
You and me both, Mission. Nothing for now, never mind.
Okay, have it your way.
Right. The last person that we are going to be talking to, because I believe we've covered our entire crew, Bastila, Canderous, Karth, HK. HK is going to be who we're talking to in a moment. Jolee, Juhani. Yep, everybody else is accounted for. I think we need to forward HK's plot along, because events are changing and the LP is progressing pretty fast. So, let's go ahead and explore some
HK-47 is ready to serve, Master.
I would like to try restoring some of your memory, HK.
Affirmative. If you believe your skills are up to the task, Master, then I can certainly guide you through the process. Request. I only ask that you be oh so very careful, Master. I am too valuable and well-crafted to perish at the hands of ineptitude.
Of course. Let's get started.
Statement. As you wish, Master. You are already familiar with accessing my central control cluster, correct?
Yep.
Now you will need to... And now rewire the last 3 relays. Yes, good. Well done, Master. I believe your operation was a success. Accessing new memory. Access complete. I have accessed information on my owner prior to the Senator, Master. most unexpected.
What now?
Answer. It appears that previous to my ownership by the Senator, I was the property of one Bochaba the Hutt on the planet Slaheron.
Interesting. And what gruesome fate awaited him?
Objection. That is unfair, Master. While Bochaba may have died gruesomely, I most certainly had nothing to do with it. Well, very little.
Right.
My memories tell me that, for a time, Bochaba was one of the most feared gangsters on Slaheron. I helped him with this reputation greatly. Over a span of 1 year, I terminated a grand total of 322 sentient meatbags.
122 people.
These contracts made Bochaba very wealthy.
You sound proud of that carnage.
Answer. That is correct, Master. I do enjoy my work, though my past owners have enjoyed utilizing my functions far more. Strictly speaking, one meatbag is the same as another. Anything I do is in support of my master. It was unfortunate but inevitable that eventually Bochaba would overstep his bounds. I had just cleared 2 Hutt households when the exchange retaliated. Statement. I was not even present when my old master was assassinated. I did appreciate the artistry behind his demise upon my return, however.
So another master gone because of you. Well, why? How was he killed?
Answer. Allow me to say that I have little doubt that residents of that sector were fishing pieces of Bochaba out of their soup for weeks afterward. At any rate, I quickly shut down upon my master's death. The rival Hutt claimed me along with my master's other possessions. Observation. If that Hutt had only known my true function, he surely would not have sold me to a senator he bribed regularly.
Oh, So HK probably went back and killed the Hutt that had sold him to the senator. You would have been found out eventually.
Observation. No doubt, Master. It would have been a glorious battle to end my existence with. I would prefer that to rusting on a junk heap.
You would have preferred to stay on Slaheron, perhaps?
Observation. It would have suited my character, Master. I have enjoyed my existence since, more or less, so I do not miss it.
I should dismantle you.
Supplication. Please, Master, have I not pleased you? I cannot control the acts I have performed. Perhaps that is why memory is erased. At any rate, I act only as you instruct me, even if that means being non-violent.
I like how he put the gulp in there, even though he doesn't have a throat. How very self-sacrificing of you.
Affirmation. HK-47 exists only to serve, Master.
Telemachus is just playing with him right now. He would never dismantle HK. He loves HK. Do you remember anything else?
Answer. Negative, Master. There is still more memory that can be restored, however, if you wish to try. As well, I believe I can restore several programs the Hutt installed to improve my performance.
Ooh.
Yes, they are now active, contemplative. I wonder how many more dead masters I might have out there. A droid can live for a long time, you know.
I'm scared to even think about it. Because of your repairs, HK-47 will now regenerate at 1 vitality point every 6 seconds, in addition to his other abilities. That's very useful. But I think we will hold off on the last repair until we are done on Korriban. Most certainly remember to make it before we leave, however. Take a look at that journal entry. It appears that prior to the Senator, HK-47 was owned by a feared gangster on Slaheron, known as Bachaba the Hutt. After Bachaba died, another gangster apparently sold the droid to the Senator. HK-47 wasn't built on Slaheron, however, so how he came into the Hutt's possession remains unknown. Yes. Very well. The last thing that we have to do before leaving the ship now is come up with some clever disguises, and by clever disguises, I mean not wearing Jedi fatigues into battle. We're going to be switching. I'm going to use a dark Jedi Knight robe, and we're going to lose this headgear altogether. Because quite frankly, it makes me look dumb, and if I can remember to put it back on in combat, or whenever we get involved in some serious combat, all the better. Now, as for Bastila, the unfortunate part is I don't think she has her other version of robes yet, which is too bad. But like we have to swap out, so this is going to be coming off of her as well. And we only have one other Jedi Knight robe, so well, technically she has this Jedi War robe here that we could use, like this red robe, and that would be okay. +2 on strength, or the general robes. That might be a little less obvious, I suppose. However, we have... I think she would look decent in red, probably, so I'm going to give her the Jedi War robe. And then we will also bop over to Jolee, who will not be... Actually, no. We're going to leave Jolee as is. It'll be kind of breaking character, but we don't have enough Dark Jedi robes to put on all of our Jedi anyway, so I think we will just do Bastila with this Dark Jedi Knight robe. And then we're going to swap our lightsaber crystals as well. Let's upgrade this item. Switch over emitters to... It appears I need to make one for myself. Cancel that for now. I need to go over and talk to T3 for that, but we'll upgrade Bastila's lightsaber. Bastila's lightsaber is there. And we're gonna say we're gonna use her red crystal that we gave her. Lemicus knew it would come in handy, and it's going to. For now, I need to run over and talk to T3. T3. Can you modify a crystal and an emitter for me, T3? Beep, boop, boop, beep. I want you to combine an emitter with a red crystal. Beep, 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 boop. That seems to be all. Items received and items lost. So that crystal is permanently converted, which is fine. We have a very large abundance of red lightsaber crystals, so let's let's upgrade our crystals. There it is. Crossguard emitter red, blade color red, a faceted crystal bonded with a crossguard emitter. For lightsaber construction, it glows faintly with an inner red light. See how that looks. Pretty badass, I gotta admit. I mean, as a person, I actually like red as my favorite color. But for Star Wars, I'm usually a blue lightsaber guy. Usually. We didn't, can I add anything to this so that we can get some variety, I wonder? We could do a yellow short lightsaber to give us a bit more variety in there. Got like a purple, a red, and a yellow. 2 double-bladed reds. I'm gonna see if I can swap one of these out with some other color. We'll use, we don't have any more green crystals. We'll use a blue. Give us some more weapon variety. Good. Believe everybody else is all set. Looking good. Right, so I think that's it for the Hawk. That's all we needed. I'm gonna save the game right here. We're gonna do a new slot. Rag plays KotOR 6. Okay. Let's disembark. To start, we are going to add Bastila and Jolee to the party. A little unusual. I thought about some other picks that I might have thrown in, but I think it's going to be these two until we get to a certain point. It's going to happen pretty quick, but yeah, let's do it.